grandmother, or I got this mold at a when I went and traveled to this country and I got this Jello mold, or this person brought this to me, then it becomes fascinating and interesting, and something as simple as a copper Jello mold becomes a reason to be, a raison d'etre. It becomes a reason to get up in the morning. I'm in search of Jello molds. Just as something as simple as that. And that's the community we found with some of these tiki people and these mid-century conventions we go to, and we're going to this Exoticon convention in June, and there's people who were brought together through the music of Uma Zumak. Is that her name?
Oh,
You know,
right.
she's like,
yes.
yeah, she's saying sort of exotic,
Yes.
and no one knew where she was, and they thought
Dr.
maybe
Adam, please find some of her music and we'll incorporate that in our
Uma
episode.
Sumac.
Yes.
YMASUMAC.
She was singing Bird. I'm probably going to get that wrong, but I went to a show a few years ago where a modern day artist
And she's going to be performing there. Yes, and there'll be a modern day Uma Sumac homage artist who's going to be there. So it's probably the same person. Because how many could there be? Like Corla Pandit, he was an organ player. Remember Corla Pandit?
Absolutely.
And it turns out it was an African American man, but he was afraid he was going to be discriminated against, so he pretended he was Indian, that he was from India.
Wow.
And so he traveled the world as an Indian wearing a turban, which of course only if he was a Sikh would he be wearing a turban, but that's beside the point. He was actually just an African American guy from the South.
And he played organ.
And he played the organ. And
Never
he played
spoke.
in Seattle.
And
he never spoke.
And he had a TV program. So did Nat King Cole and a few others, I think Spike Jones, or they had 15-minute allotments in the 50s for that kind of an entertainer. They wouldn't give them any longer.
And they would play like in between the commercial, like in between the films and stuff.
Like the Mohawk showroom or something like that.
This,
And
we're revisiting all these old people who we remember from, like we went to an event last year and they had a Heino impersonator or a tribute artist. Heino was a German, he had white hair and he had bad eyes, so he always wore dark glasses. And he's well loved by the German people.
I only
in
know
the
Karl
60s,
Lagerfeld.
in the,
Sorry.
In the 60s and
Looks
70s,
like
and he was a singer of sort of oompa music.
Oh, how funny!
And he performed up to his 80s.
Oh.
And he just died recently. But now there's a guy that goes around impersonating Heino, who I don't even think he's German. I think he's Canadian. But he goes around to all these mid-century.
Originally German, maybe.
Maybe originally German. He goes around to these mid-century events and performs as the artist Heino.
Okay.
So who knows? Maybe there'll be a Donna Loren tribute artist someday.
I'm not dying anytime too soon.
Well, I don't think you have to be dead.
Oh, I don't have to be dead? Okay.
Because there were Elvis tribute artists before Elvis passed.
See? And we haven't even had dessert yet.
She did ply me with alcohol.
I was going to say there might be some wine over lunch, and you're looking at your Jello molds. I'm in my lounge room looking at all my sort of mid-century vases. I've got lots of glass. I've got a I guess it's olive green. You know the old phones, the American phones.
Yes.
Sitting here, and even I'm going to say it's a 1964 Jim Beam whiskey bottle, and the reason that's relevant is because it's the beautiful dark green. It was the bottle that they based, or they painted one of those bottles and made it Genie's bottle in I Dream of Jeannie. So the iconic bottle was the 1964 Christmas Jim Beam whiskey bottle, and I've got one sitting. I'm looking at it right now.
How in the world did you acquire that, Dr. Adam?
That was just an online purchase. There's quite a few of them around.